Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for August 18th to the 24th. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in once I fix my screen, which will take 2 seconds. Tell me a joke. What's your funniest joke, Sagittarius? That was good. That was funny. I really like that one. Do you have another one? The one about the windows. Let's hear the one about the windows. That's great. Okay, so Sagittarius, what a week. What a week. Mercury is retrograde as I film this, by the way. All right, so this week is going to be pretty... Well, first of all, you know that we're moving into a new season, right? It seems like you're going to really love this. And there's going to be a huge shift. You're going to feel it. It's a new era too. This new you remember the prison portal. That's locked and loaded. And if you are new to my channel, talk about your August forecast, okay? You're still also riding that high of the triple conjunction with Jupiter, Venus, and Sirius from last week. That was in your 8th house, Jupiter being your ruler. I mean, this is big. So partnerships, big energy around that, and relationships as well as wealth building. You're building some wealth here, like royalties, commissions, bonuses, inheritance, investments, all of that. A lot of home, family energy that's still happening for you too. Really big time for you. To be honest, this is huge. And you're moving into this really, again, just great new energy, okay? With, you see the new moon happening. And I'm calling it this astrological blue moon. And I'll tell you why later. But you are going to have a lot of focus on health and wellness and your everyday activities. And yes, there's going to be some surprises too. All right. Now, August 18th, that's going to be Monday. We're kicking it off with the sun in Leo, trining Chiron in Aries. So, what does that even mean? First, this is all about healing. And this is amazing because it's the sun. And if you felt like there were some rough edges from the past month or so, because, hey, yeah, Mercury was retrograde, Uranus moved into Gemini, there was a lot of big shifts. There was a lot of bonkers moments. I told you July and August, the most bonkers month. But the sun is still in Leo at this point. Remember, the sun rules Leo. The sun is in its happy place. And it's shining light on old inner wounds, but in this radiant, optimistic way. And so I want you to think of it as this high frequency vitamin D, yeah, on any battle scars or anything that has to do with you feeling maybe, insecurities or worries or concerns about love, about your relationships, about, romance, family, children. Again, that's a big theme for you now. Things that bring you fun and pleasure and sex. Yeah, that's a 5th house because that's where Chiron is. And you've been going through some big, is this real? What's going on with me? Moments with everything that I just mentioned, because Saturn's conjuncting Neptune in Aries as well, with Chiron in Aries. Yeah, that's a lot happening in your 5th house. Also creative projects. Yeah. So there could be some things where you're like, I'm not good enough. No, you are. You're going to see that. This is going to help you restore any lost confidence. Yeah. Being expressive, for you to be your spiritual warrior, your, this leader, a role model, all of that. Yeah. And don't forget, Eris is here. Eris, Mars' sister. So divine goddess warrior. Remember, she threw the golden apple at the wedding to stir things up. She's right on top of Chiron. And so this is almost like Eris is making you just rip off the Band-Aids. And when you have a very optimistic, it's a trine. Trines are the nature of Jupiter. That's your ruler. They work in your favor. You're going to love this, okay? This is going to help you overcome any adversity, any doubts, any challenges. You're going to be like the Gale Weathers of every Scream movie. She survived it all. You're going to be invincible. All right. And don't forget, I squeeze in Mercury sextile Mars. That's still happening. Yeah. And remember, it's perfecting this day as well. So I talked more about last week in your last week's reading. Just remember, you got this big window. Sextiles are windows of opportunity. So it does look like when I see what's going on for y'all, remember, Mars is in Libra now. So yes, there could be something here that has to do with it's like big picture energy that you're going through. You're seeing the big picture, maybe even like life purpose. Like, yeah, that deep for this aspect with Mars and Libra, and you got Mercury and Leo. So yeah, well, especially relationships and marriage and your commitments and even contracts. And again, creative projects, but your support system and your like benefactors, allies, your squad, your community, all of that. There may be something here with social media too. All right. Now, signing things. Now, the other thing is, let me see here for you. We're going to talk about this more in the second spread, but Jupiter, your ruler, will be at its degree of exaltation, 15 degrees. And that's with Hellenistic astrology. It's ancient. This has been for thousands of years. But what I love about this is that the moon, which rules Cancer, is going to be in Cancer, conjuncting Jupiter that's exalted in Cancer, and Jupiter's a ruling planet. And that conjunction will trine the North Node and sextile the South Node. This is big. When Jupiter's at its degree of exaltation, he's at his strongest point, and it's in your 8th house, relationships, money, your transformation. You're transforming. All right. Anyway, we'll talk about more in the second spread. And remember, that's coming after that triple conjunction from last week. All right. So really special. Now, Friday, August 22nd, we move into Virgo season. You got Sun moving into Virgo. So this is a little bit of a, hey, we're moving from that fiery Leo energy from Leo season to Virgo season, which is a lot more grounded. It's an earth sign. It's getting down to business. It's checking off your to-do list. It's being practical, very pragmatic, organized with your routines. And the biggest thing for you is work, because Virgo rules your 10th house of career and fame. Public recognition, honors, achievements, even if you're not here for work or career, the matter is whatever you want to be recognized for. Anything that you want to be recognized for. So really, really nice. This also has to do with your relationship with colleagues and your employees and, your intern from South Dakota. And Virgo seasons also, by the way, there's a sense of health that's improving overall health. And that does include mental health, because remember, Mercury is Virgo's ruler. All about the mind, and Mercury's direct now. Remember, Mercury's no longer retrograde. You have a lot more clarity. And so it could also be like health in the workplace. Like, is this job toxic for me? Like, things like that could be a big thing for y'all. You're getting new jobs. Every Sagittarius is getting something. Something's changing with that 10th house of career and fame and your reputation. It's very public facing. All right. Now, I say that because, well, I'll tell you later, but just know that Virgo season, again, it's just you're preparing for this new harvest. Yeah, you see the new moon happening at the same time, but the lower expression, and please pay attention, because this is the big thing about Virgo season. The lower expressions would be perfectionism. It would be over worrying. It would be like nervous energy, like what, or controlling energy, or being hypercritical, especially on yourself. So just be mindful of that. Yeah. Trust the big picture. And remember, we're all human. Nobody's perfect. What I love about Virgo season is there is this sense of purification. So it looks like, yeah, do your thing. Especially during the new moon, break out the sage, detox, cleansing. That's all Virgo energy. New diet, checking up on your diet. Virgo rules the digestive system, trusting your gut, or second brain, right? So the other thing is Virgo is known for hospitality. So a lot of y'all may be getting jobs in hospitality too, by the way, FYI. And it's very nurturing. It's service to others. That's what Virgo is known for. And I feel like a lot of people forget that. That's a central theme, not only for Virgo, but for life in general. Okay. service to others. All like every ancient text and philosophies and religions, it's a core theme of humanity. All right. And the law of one. Yeah. So keep that in mind. I feel like there's a lot of y'all that, in terms of how you want to be recognized, your careers as well, there is something here, even, that leadership role, where it is all about your contribution. Okay. Now, the other thing is that, the other thing is that okay. So normally when we move into a new, astrological season, I'd say, this is what you can pay attention to for the next 4 weeks. Well, remember, this is not a normal month. It's not a typical month. It's not a typical year. It's not a typical decade. All right. So South Node. Remember, the South Node moved into Virgo back in February. And that was the first time since 2006 to 2007. Think about what happened in your life around that time. You're going to pick up some similar patterns in terms of what had changed in your life, in terms of working with your karma, your past karma, changes with work or health, or your day-to-day activities, or your lifestyle, your habits, your patterns. You probably had a major turn of events also in March 2025 with a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. Yeah. So a lot of y'all could have had some changes in career and work, your everyday activities, how you're seen. And then in June, Mars moved into Virgo. So working up this massive energy, this drive, ambition, passion in your career zone. And that was up until the first week of August. And now that was preparing you, putting you in this, like Mars, the warrior, right? Putting you in this position of now you're ready to get that spotlight with the sun moving into Virgo, shining on this light in your 10th house of career and fame and your reputation. And you see that the next day, and the 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you live, the new moon in Virgo. It's at 2:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's my time, New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. At 0 degrees. It's a 0 degree new moon in Virgo. So it is, first of all, 0 degrees is a critical degree. Think of it as like a supercharged gateway, right? This reset, this extra special seeding point. Yeah. It's Virgo, earth sign, right? Very fertile soil, especially at 0 degrees, because 0 degrees is like the freshest of fresh beginnings of the purest form of Virgo energy. And that would be your 10th house and work and health and your everyday activities and routines. So please plant seeds and set intentions. This is a humongous portal where things can really root up for you. And again, a lot of Sagittarians are truly going to have changes in career, new beginnings, all right, new opportunities. And the reason why we can be a little bit more confident with this new moon and me saying that to you is because, remember, next month we have that new moon solar eclipse in Virgo at 29 degrees, another critical degree, on September 21st, which is, it's an eclipse. It's 10 times the power of a new moon. And so that's why I call this astrological blue moon. You have these two new moons in the same sign back to back. And so what does this mean? You've got, first of all, this carries energy of this new moon in your 10th house of career and fame, all of that, right? For 6 months. And you package it with the solar eclipse, which is a 10 times the power. So this is carried for 6 months into March 2026. And as I've been saying for weeks, you want to take inspired action this month. And it's almost over. This month for where you want to be by February 2026, when we have the Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees. Okay. Which again, you know, it has not happened in modern human history. It's the Great Reset. And now you see, and that's part of the prison portal, that now you see outside of that prison portal, Now you see another reason why this is the month to take action. Because now, between now and March 2026, well, especially now in October, health, wellness, work, your routines, fixing things like that, working toward your legacy, but also work, career. You're gonna feel this shift. And like I said, a lot of y'all are gonna get new jobs. Y'all are gonna be starting your own jobs. You're gonna be getting fame for the things that you do. Yeah. And again, it doesn't have to do with career. If you want to be known as, the best, I don't know, tennis player in your gated community, there you go. Right. There you go. But everything in this 10th house area of your chart completely magnified. All right. Like a microscope. Because Virgo is all about the finer details. Anyway, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Time is speeding up. 2026 is just 5 months away. Can you believe that? So what does this mean this week? And again, something I've been saying every week, out with the old, in with the new. All right. Especially with this Virgo energy, out with the old, in with the new. We're talking about habits, patterns, routines, outdated systems. Even if you don't, it's going to happen anyway. So you might as well just get prepared because it's part of that prism portal, which is breaking down all of the old as we enter this new era. So if you're a cross watcher, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your, sister, Kelly, or for your husband, Jonas, for anyone, right? It's going to be the mutable signs. Yeah. That includes you and Virgo and Gemini and Pisces. We'll feel this new moon the most. And I am going to throw in Taurus and Capricorn. Okay. For the earth signs are going to feel this. Cross watchers, if you watch for your rising or if you know your birth chart, if you know your natal chart, if you have any planets between 0 to 2 degrees, any of the signs that I just mentioned, you will feel it the most. Now, Sunday, August 24th, you see that we do have the sun square Uranus. Uranus is in Gemini. What does this mean for you? Well, it means, this Uranus square is baked into this new moon. And so what does that mean? Well, with this new moon, expect the unexpected. Surprises, wake-up calls. Uranus is the great awakener. Yeah, and by the way, it is officially live. My new site. Fun times. Now, here's the other thing. You've got to use Uranus. Remember, I say that all the time, but what's unique about this new moon? Well, Uranus, remember, first time in Gemini in 84 years. So this is a first of its kind new moon that none of us have ever experienced in our lifetime. Yeah. And the irony of the fact that Uranus is here, it makes this new moon feel like an eclipse because eclipses are game changers and they bring the unexpected. But it can be truly exciting for you. Those can be, listen, Uranus and Gemini, that's your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and legal matters and contracts and marriage. So there could be some things here. Yeah, there could be some things here where, again, some unexpected moments, but you want to use this. Uranus's breakthroughs. You want to have your big breakthrough. All right. And there can be, again, like if you're vibrating at the high frequency, it's the unexpected. It could be this unexpected contract that you did not. It's like, oh, you want me to be a permanent judge on America's Got Talent? Okay, sure, I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just never know. But you've got to be in that mindset where you're prepared for it. Because think of the Fool card. This is a new moon in Virgo at 0 degrees. Full card 0, right? This is a new journey for you. This is that leap of faith, having that confidence. And remember, you're already feeling that confidence from the beginning of the week. And the Fool is attributed to Uranus. So you are going to feel this independent, rebellious, freeing yourself edge. Okay? Great. I'm glad that we had this chat, Sagittarius. Well, the other thing is, and you are going to feel this, okay? And I say that because Virgo and Gemini are mutable signs like you. There's got to be change. And it's all about being flexible. And that's why 100%, you're going to be fine. Because you're a mutable sign. You're good at adapting to things. But just remember, Uranus wants you to be your authentic self, and it's shaking out the old, anything that's just... Now, the other thing is that the Sun in Virgo, Uranus and Gemini, well, not only two mutable signs, they're the only two signs that are ruled by Mercury. And as you know, Mercury is sextile Mars. So there's got to be some moments here where... Yeah, there could be some things with travel, long distance travel. There could be some publishing opportunities, broadcasting as well. Maybe you started a podcast, or got offered something that's going to bring you fame. Maybe Joe Rogan invited you to be on, his podcast because you're now the most famous tennis player in your gated community. You just never know. But the thing is, all I'm saying is this is mercurial energy, so just be clever and strategize. And Virgo is just highly analytical and practical. And Gemini is very social and quick and clever. Use this moment. Seize the day. It's a big new moon for you. Y'all are about to become Brad Pitt famous. It's a Sagittarius. And yeah, thank you everybody that has... Come on. I'm so excited. That was a journey. I'll leave the live stream. I walk you through the new site. But oh my goodness. Have you ever started a project that just, during Mercury retrograde? Not fun. Anyway, Sagittarius, let's see what's going on. And yeah, some really great courses and live streams there already. Oh, you're going to love it. Let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you this week, Sagittarius. This is a big one, all right? August 18th to the 24th. I'm actually very curious as to... Yeah? All right. So... All right, Sagittarius. I do a traditional Celtic Cross spread. Offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, I love y'all. You're going through some big stuff, and I want to remind you that when we get to September 1st, there's a lot happening. And yeah, September is eclipse season. There's a lot happening with home and career. A lot of big changes happening, and you're probably already feeling it. Okay? So, anyway, let's get started. Let's see. Whoa. Wow. All right. So, you, okay. Let's talk. You're going to be fine. You're going to be good. But we're going to have to have a little chat. You got the Two of Cups. How amazing. I love this. What I say about partnerships and relationships. You got Venus and Jupiter in your 8th house of partnership building. A lot of you could have met new people. New love came into your life, especially with Uranus and Gemini. Again, that is in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and marriage and all of that. But then you also have Jupiter, Venus, and Cancer in your 8th. Yeah. So that's more partnership activity, but then you also have Mars and Libra, more partnership activity. Remember, we talked about this last week. There's just so much here. Even second marriage could be a thing for y'all with, Leo season. You have that new moon in Leo. You have the sun, all of that. Anyway, really great. This is the true love card, twin flame card, but ultimately it's just you opening yourself up to this opportunity with another person, soulmate energy, right? In layman's terms, twin flame, all of that. You see the winged lion bring all that passion, the caduceus. What I say about healing, this is a healing week for you, healing moment. There could be someone new that you meet. It doesn't have to be love. It can be platonic. It can be creative. It can be in any capacity, okay? It could be the tennis player that you meet in your gated community. Anyway, you got the Four of Cups. So very interesting how you go from the Two of Cups to the Four of Cups, and they're both Cancer cards. So there's something here showing that there is something developing as part of your transformation because, yes, the 8th house, where what Cancer rules for you, where Venus is and Jupiter's in. I told you that we will have the moon conjunct Jupiter as well. Yeah. Did I tell you that? I did. Yeah. So that's big. Yeah. All that Cancerian energy. This card is attributed to Moon and Cancer. And you see that this is a card where there's a little bit of like, He's the Hand of Spirit. The Hand of Spirit only appears in the aces other than this card, meaning this is a significant card. And it's in the heart of your spread. And so this is a week where you want to focus on your gratitude, because there's a little bit of just not being content with even the things that you have. It's almost like, what's going to please you, right? If the fourth cup, and it's eye level, he's not, he sees it. So right, arms crossing off his heart too. So keep that in mind. There may be something here. It's just like, what will please you this week? But when you think about that, I want you to think about what will please you in addition to all the other amazing things that are happening in your life. Because this card at the end of the day is all about gratitude. It's having gratitude for everything that you have. If there's something that you haven't gotten this week, well, hey, you've got a roof over your head. Yeah. We got Netflix. You got Twix, whatever it is. Have that gratitude for the things that's energy. I talk about energy all the time. Everything is made of energy. Yeah. And so we know how the law of attraction works. And this is low frequency, but it's identifying it's when you have those moments of gratitude, which is that high frequency of love and compassion and self-love, all of that, then you see the big picture, all right? And then you attract the things that you want. And so there may be something here going from the 2 to the 4, right? It's almost like there's something missing in the picture here, but it's also like let me see. It's almost like there may be something here where it's not what you expected. And that's Uranus. You got the Knight of Wands in your challenge area. And so 2 things here. A, yes, there may be a little bit of you that's like, let's slow down a little bit. If you want this partnership, this relationship in any capacity, by the way, it could even be your sister, it could be your, whatever it is. It's just building that bond with some, right? We've got to be at the same pace, eye level, all of that, but we got to open ourselves up. Now, secondly, and compromise. That's a big thing with Mars and Libra. Yeah. Secondly, the Knight of Wands, it could be someone that you they're a little bit not what you expected, like I said. Like there may be something here that just maybe it's like expectations that were just like, right? But still have that gratitude. Yeah, remember, this is just a weekly reading. So still have that gratitude because you want to have that high energy for the new moon when you're setting intentions and breaking out the sage. It's Virgo season. You do that. It's cleansing, purification. Did I talk about that? Virgo is purification. Yeah, because you got the 8 of Swords in your crown. So there's something that you are denying yourself of. We've got to, yeah. And we call this a self-victim card. The 8 of Swords. And it just might have to do with partnerships and relationships. Because this is a Gemini card. And you've got Uranus and Gemini. Gemini rules your 7th house. Or even contracts or marriage. There may be something here. You just have to remember, Virgo is all about the details. You got to really dig in. But you got to be open to it. You know, she can't see. She's blindfolded. She's bound. He's crossing off his heart. So what is it that you need to face? Her feet are free. You see that, right? So she can leave anytime she wants. So there's something here where it's almost like, again, that nervous energy may be kicking in. There may be just something here. It's almost like, even when you look at this, it even feels a little bit like a runaway bride, right? Like, oh, fell in love, or you get married, but then, this is a new thing for me. It's so new, this new era. And again, for you, it can be like, career. It could be, careers are going to be it's going to be a big thing for you. A lot of y'all, it's going to be like taking that leap, and maybe there's something that you've moved into. There could have been a contract already signed, and it's just like, wait, what? Right? So you got to trust your intuition most of all. Cups are intuition, in addition to like love and emotions and feelings. Knight of Pentacles and the root of your spread. That's the disconnect here. The Knight of Pentacles and the root of your spread. Because this is someone who is, first of all, this card is attributed to Virgo. So this Knight is Virgo. And so very practical, pragmatic, grounded, all in it for the long haul. Like really like planted. You see, this is the biggest field in tarot. So he's planted his seeds. He's going to reap his rewards. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, because he's in it for the long haul. And there's something within you. It's like, that's what I want. I want stability. I want something that's going to be long lasting. And Pentacles, remember, not just money and wealth. Yeah. And we have careers to make money, but also it can be a relationship. Okay. Plant the seed and let it grow and let it grow. You got judgment in your future. So there's a powerful awakening awaiting you. But you've got to be able to vibrate. It's just high frequency this week. I'll clarify some things, but I want to see your stuff first. All right. Sagittarius, if you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what is going on. It's a big week for you. It's a really big week. And next week is going to be big for you too. All right, so yeah, and I love you. All right, so let's see what's going on for you here. Whoa. Okay. All right, all right, let's do this. Okay, like I said, you're good. You just got to open up. There's something here. You got to have that gratitude. You got to see things in a different way. You got to actually see things first, but you got to be prepared to, you just got to, it almost feels like there's this conversation that needs to be had. Okay. Now, you got justice. Yeah. So there you go. Again, another wink and nod to marriage, partnerships, contracts. There's a lot of you here saying, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing? I don't think this is what I wanted. You're on a karmic journey. All your actions have consequences, right? Everything you do, everything you think, everything you speak have ripple effects. So you want to be mindful of that. Remember, you're always on a karmic journey. You always want to be the best version of yourself. You always want to be in touch with your higher mind as well. And there is a sense of, spiritual consequences here to just be mindful of, where whatever happens this week, let it lead you to having that big spiritual awakening. This is a wake-up call. It's judgment, all right? Big time. So again, there is something here where it's, first of all, remember, it's a week of healing, and you see Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet. It's the only card in tarot where there's this huge connotation of sound. Sound is vibration. It raises your frequency. Sound is healing, all right? We've been used thousands of years. Gregorian chanting, Native American drum beats. It doesn't matter. It's just like, even, putting on Cyndi Lauper. It doesn't matter. It raises your frequency. Even, So this is the direction you want to go. You want to have that profound moment of like clarity. And I see the big picture for me. All right. Just remember, just do it. It just, make karmically sound decisions. Yeah. And then the justice that you want, justice you'll get. But it does seem like there is something here with, again, big focus for you, especially with partnerships and contracts and stuff. Second marriages too. And something with the courts. You got the world. So you got judgment, the world. Yeah. Interesting. The world in your external factors area. Everything in your life is changing. Your entire world is changing. Everything is changing. This is the end of the major arcana. So be proud of yourself because you're ending one journey, moving into another. Just like I said, with this new moon, it will be life-changing, especially for you, okay? Especially with work and daily activities and career and fame. Y'all are going to be famous. I mean, like this, it's there. It's there, all right? Tennis player. Now, I love this. Just these two, so powerful together, all right? So it's like this journey, the end of the journey. You can't enter this new era without having that awakening. You have to awaken and take whatever that means for you. For some of y'all, yeah, you have to finally, face the music, literally. Well, that's good, Jimmy. That was good. You got to face the music, but you also got to just face some things that you can't just avoid. Yeah. You got to work with your emotions and your feelings, and you got to open yourself up. All right. It's okay to be vulnerable, especially when you have the protection of the sun, Trine Chiron, and Eris, like ripping off the Band-Aid. So now you got the Seven of Pentacles too. There's something that you're sitting on and you don't want to anymore. And I think that a lot of y'all are in a place where it's like, okay, I've invested my time and my energy and my blood, sweat, tears, heart, and soul in this job, in this career, in this relationship, and whatever it is. And that's the thing. I'm so used to it, but this new change, I don't know. I don't know. Will it work out? Like, again, that would be you being that Eight of Swords. You got to trust your intuition, okay? There's something that's got to change, but you can no longer look at the past like he is doing, all right? Remember, it's all about the leap of faith, having faith in yourself, and then you got the Hierophant, and you're going to be fine, you're going to be good, all right? So Hierophant is almost like, he's like a bridge maker himself. And the Hierophant is he's the divine warrior. He's, the connector between the divine, our physical world, and he's a leader and people listen to him. But this is someone who is so wise that, people hear what the Hierophant has to say. And he is very structured and he is very organized. But the thing about the Hierophant is that he's really into traditions, okay? Having things the same way. The biggest message for you is that, traditions, that's fine. You want things for the long haul anyway, but new traditions. You can't, remember, out with the old, in with the new, outdated systems, traditions, structures, all of that. You're building new ones. And like I said, with the prison portal, if you don't, the prison portal will, and you have to adapt to that. So you want to take advantage of this moment and create your reality and use these planets and these aspects in your favor. Okay? So, I was going to clarify that Four of Cups. There, all right. Let's see. You got the moon. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So, it does feel like that there's something here that's really taking up a lot of headspace. Okay? We got to... Virgo, by the way, is attributed to the Hermit, right? Card 9. And when you look at the moon, you do see it's card 18. And the reason why I'm going to tell you why this is a big deal in a second, but 1 + 8 = 9. You see the Hermit's face in the moon here. You got to go. There's some deep reflection you're going to have to do this week. That brings that awakening for you, okay? And you got these amazingly divine cards here, yeah? And it's that connection with your intuition, with your divination, your spirituality, all of that makes the difference. So have your moment, and you're gonna shine. You really, there's something up here. There's something up here that's taking up too much headspace, and you may be doubting a lot of things, and you may be, again, some things may have just not turned out the way that you wanted, or you could even be just bored with the situation, Yeah, because the Four of Cups is a trip. It's like boredom and apathy, and so ask yourself what that is. Remember, I said Uranus wants you to shake things up, and even if you're not, that's fine. Just look at what's happening here. There's still, it's asking you to just go within and see what is that. With the Sun sextile Chiron, what is it that needs to be healed? What is it that's gonna, bring me that pleasure and things like that? Okay, that emotional gratification, and you're gonna be fine. Anyway, Sagittarius next. Oh, so second spread, we're gonna talk about something that's really big. All right, that we talk about the planetoids, asteroids, lunations, all of that second spread. But one of the things that is showing up already for you is that, well, we're going to do a second spread just on the new moon. We're going to isolate that, okay? Remember, fame and career and leadership. You're already seeing that here. And you having a big awakening, and there's going to be massive change. Now, what's going to happen is this weekend, the South Node will conjunct the moon in Virgo at 18 degrees. So not only is 18 degrees the Virgo degree, it's a hugely karmic degree that happens to be on the karmic node of fate, the South Node. So there's something fated. Over the weekend, you're going to really feel it in your 10th house of career and fame and leadership and everything that I was mentioned, that I talked about. But the Sabian symbol for Virgo 18, Virgo 18 degrees, is two girls giggling over a Ouija board. And so there, again, something here that I just feel like we're going to have to go a little bit deeper, but it's the South Node. It's just letting things go. It's 18. 1 + 8 = 9, like I said, but 9 is completion, it's fulfillment. It's like something's got to go. And a lot of it may be the way that you're seeing something or thinking about something, or something that you're refusing to see. And Ceres, who is a goddess, right? Demeter in Greek, Virgo's planetoid, she's going to be active this weekend too. And she's going to square Jupiter. So it does look like there is something here with partnerships, relationships, and maybe even marriage. Kids too. Or creative projects. Anyway, that's the second time. Sagittarius, thanks so much. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link for the second spread. Anyone's welcome to join. And what else next week. Yeah, we got that rare aspect. Okay. It's happening. The one that hasn't happened since the 1960s. It's next week. So you see the changes that are, All right. Anyway. And Venus, the cradle. Venus is, there's Venus with the 4 aspects that we talked about in your August forecast. Anyway, Sagittarius, thanks so much. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.